Hello, this is a video on paper making, and this is the first video, and this is about making the pulp, so hopefully I'll sort of talk you through making the pulp. So you're going to need some paper, different types of recycled paper. So in here I've got some bits of old shredding and stuff like that, some newspaper that I've ripped up, a bit of an old napkin as well. You can try all sorts of different things as long as they pulp up okay. It just takes a bit of time to do that. You'll also need a bottle, could be like a 4-pint milk bottle like this, as long as you wash it out nicely, otherwise it stinks, or a like a Diet Coke bottle or something like that. There's also some pennies here as well, just to put in at the end, and they sort of help mush up all the paper and everything, which is good. So you need to fill the milk bottle up, or whatever bottle, about 2/3 full with water. Cold water is absolutely fine. And then just start sort of shoving the paper in once you've ripped it up. Just try and make your paper bits quite small if you can. The smaller the better, because then they'll pulp up better, okay? So the idea is that you shove it in and make a huge mess and get a bit more of this tissuey stuff in there. The tissuey stuff, possibly, because of the colour of it, might also affect the colour of the paper, so you just need to be... That might be a great thing, or you might need to be careful if you don't want it to turn purple in this case, obviously. Right, so you've shoved a load of paper in, quite a lot, probably the equivalent to about 4 or 5 sheets of big sheets of newspaper, okay? You want quite a lot in there, because otherwise you're going to end up with thin, rubbishy kind of paper, right, which is not going to work out. I'd already shoved loads and loads in beforehand, which is all ready to go. So then you're ready then just to shove the last little bits in, which is these pennies. Anything will do, just something hard like that is absolutely fine. You'll put 5 little pennies, they can go in. Put the lid on, really make sure it's secure, and then give it a good shake out, okay? And you basically need to shake it for quite some time each day, probably for about a week, okay? About a week will be good, and then it will really start to pulp up and go, rather than being sort of individual bits of paper, it will start to look like pulp, an actual real pulpiness, which is what you want to make the successful paper. Okay, so leave it a week and then we'll make the paper.